Hey folks, your favorite disgruntled dad coming to you today. Want to talk to you about finding purpose in life. I know I posted a short about it the other day. Take off my goofy computer glasses since I'm looking more to camera here. But as you get older, I'm telling you, your eyes just they stop working right. It starts to hurt staring at the computer too much. And I used to think everyone was crazy growing up. Turn the light on so you can see. I don't understand. I see just fine. Now I get it. I tell the kids I must be close to death because now you got to turn on the light because I just can't read this quite right without the light on. Enjoy that perfect vision while you got it. Anyway, that's not why I'm here today. Other than you do get older and you do learn a lot of things. And instead of being one of those whiny old people who just says, you need to do this, you should do that. Well, why? Why? Why can't you see when the lights are out? Why do I have to turn on the light to see? And it's because folks don't reflect on what was I thinking, what was my mindset at that age. And obviously your memory fades. I don't remember exactly what I was thinking at any point in life, but I do remember general themes. And so I really try to put myself into your shoes as a younger person and how was I thinking at that age? And that's not even to say we were thinking the same way at all, but it is to relate a little bit and help you understand where I'm coming from, why I say the things I say, why older folks around you say the things they say. And hell, I'm not even 40 yet, so older is a relative term. Anyone over 50 is saying, what do you mean old? Anyone over 60 is saying, are you crazy? Anyone over 70, if they're watching this at all, what do you mean old? You're still a kid. You're still a baby. It's all relative. But I am at that point in life where I really have a tremendous appreciation. Well, as you can see around me, I'm still building so much. I mean, I got the computer over here that I'm about to build. It's actually gonna be a server, and I want to put a graphics card in it so I can make my little AI lab here for my kids. So they can practice with their own chat GPT in a closed network, training it. And one of them is very good at math. The other is just super creative. So put their minds at that, and they can start building those things. And I'm totally off track here. Point being, finding the things that bring you joy, which being a parent brings me a tremendous amount of joy. It also brings me a tremendous amount of frustration, stress, and that's why I call myself the disgruntled dad, because face palm at least once a day. Why would you do that? Why did you do this? But I'll tell you, I was inspired by something that Praxis sent out today. I don't get paid by them at all. I do get paid by Start9, so please go on over to smartgrowth.live/tech and check out Start9. That is your first step into being your own sysadmin, having your own server, and it's super easy. That is the only thing I'm recommending to anybody right now is get Start9. Just buy a box fresh off the internet there, and I've got a discount code for you. Get you 5% off. Use a discount code SmartGrowth. Save a little bit of money there, but it's so easy. Plug and play. Just point and click. You don't need to do sudo apt-get update if you're running Ubuntu, or you don't need to do switch into root mode and do an update if you're running Red Hat or whatever. And these are, if you're confused by this, that's okay, because you don't need to be a Linux sysadmin to run your own home server or spend a couple $1,000s to be a Windows home server admin. No, it's all the software is free, and if you want to learn how to install it, best of luck to you. It's a little bit of a challenge. I haven't been able to get their Belina to work for it. Well, it's not theirs, but Belina Etcher to do the plug and play. It's not working right now, so you have to do some command line stuff. Anyway, point being, just go to the website, buy the box, buy a tiny little box, just like the size of maybe 3 hockey pucks, but in a square. Maybe 2 hockey pucks. I don't know. Anyway, it's about as thick, a little bit thicker than a hockey puck, and it's maybe 3 or 4 of them square. You plug that puppy into your network and follow the instructions. The instructions are really simple. You can plug a monitor into it, keyboard, mouse if you want to, and you can operate directly from that, or you can remote in from anywhere because it comes with a URL. So you just type it in your web browser, whatever URL comes with your instructions. It's so incredibly easy. But that way you can start diving into technology stuff and by far the easiest and lowest cost entry point that I'm aware of. With that, Praxis, they don't pay me, but I think the stuff they're doing is incredible, especially for young people. And I just want to read their newsletter to you here before I dive too deep into my rant. How to discover your thing and build a career around it. Today I'm going to share a bit about a big challenge I faced in my career, something I know plenty of other people struggle with too. Me too. Tons about it. How do you find your thing? I hear some version of that question every week from young adults who are struggling to make sense of the limitless possibilities ahead of them. What makes fielding questions like this so challenging and rewarding is that I'm intimately familiar with the struggle. Me too. I'll tell you how. Well, I'll wait. I spent the all of my adolescent years heading down a path I thought would impress other people, rather than putting in the hard work of mapping out my interests onto a career path. By my mid-20s, I realized I had charted a course to a life and career I had little interest in. Now, this I can completely and totally relate to. I joined the military just because the stuff I was doing was going to land me dead or in jail, or just broke and upset doing roofs, or just some crap labor at minimum wage, or maybe making $15 an hour by now. If I was lucky, I might be making $20 an hour. Either way, I saw there was no opportunity, so figure something out because this ain't it. Now, move ahead to my 30s. My early 30s. I hated it. I realized this sucks, but I'm stuck. I had just gotten a divorce, 3 kids. I can't take a gamble. Sure, there are jobs up there in D.C. You just got to move up there first, and then you'll be fine on unemployment. No, I won't, because I can't bounce around different people's couches, couch surfing in various people's homes with 3 kids. They need a stable home, and no one's gonna say, "Yeah, sure, you and your 3 kids, no problem." They might say that, but in reality, it's a big problem. And I'm sure I could have figured something out, maybe, but all that for what? The amount of money they were going to pay was not going to cover the cost of living up there. So, yeah, not a great option. Either way, I said, well, crap, I am screwed now. So let me buckle down here and just pretend I like it. Fake it till you make it. And I'll just do really incredible work here. So I ended up getting the promotion. And, man, you just learn to hate it more and more the more you get into it. And it's because you hit that certain point and, okay, I'm not doing fun stuff anymore. I'm just doing administrative crap. I'm pushing papers that I know don't mean anything. And now I've got a little bit higher view. Oh, this mission we're doing is pretty stupid. It's really a self-licking ice cream cone because all the cool stuff is over in this place and we just get the leftovers to justify our existence. That's half of this federal government. That's probably 3/4 of the federal government. It's a self-licking ice cream cone. How do we make it sound like what we're doing is important, even though all of us know it's a waste of time? Anyway, all that to say, totally relate to the story here. And go check them out. The Playbook by Praxis. I'll post a link in the comments or whatever below the video here. Back to the story. It took several years. Yeah, I already said that one. It took several years to recalibrate my ability to pursue my own interests freely, which meant shaking off the fiend interest in stuff I knew looked good on paper, but bored me to tears. And instead, learning how to run after ideas that lit my intellectual fire. Dude, this is the key to joy in life. And you can even do that within a job. This is that entrepreneurship. If you can find an organization that you don't hate working at, but you don't love it either, but you can find this little niche of something that just excites the living crap out of you. And for me, when I was younger in the military, it was protocol analysis. This is super cool. I get to learn new stuff. I get to play around in a lab, which we never had one of those. You just had to make one at home and then do it in your off time, which is a different story. But point being, this is cool. How can I manipulate a protocol or create my own protocol to communicate between devices that increases privacy or decreases latency or decentralized storage? And this is before blockchain really took off. And so this was just really neat stuff that I was looking into. And I got to stumble across all kinds of cool stuff. And you're just working with Wireshark to break down the protocol bit by bit. And there were some other tools we used too, but that was the easiest one that I could use at home. And I could actually find information to help me learn more off of YouTube. And this is back when YouTube was mostly idiot videos like Bobby Butronic. I know, if you get that reference. Anywho, but that proved to be the secret to unlocking a more fulfilling career and life, rediscovering how to freely explore and pursue my own interests. Bingo. Here's an abridged version of how this unfolded for me. Then I'll close it out with a few tips on how you can apply the same principles to your own discover process. They really need to get Grammarly. Praxis, if you're out there, please use Grammarly, guys. This is too many typos in this. Age 19 to 21. I had a formative experience working with a startup that ignited my interest in business and entrepreneurship. I got to be part of an early stage company as it went from a handful to several thousand employees, and 100 plus million valuation in a matter of years, which is exhilarating. That sort of growth is always super exciting. Personal experience, it's super fun. Downside though, you are grinding like crazy. In that young age though, perfect. You should be grinding like a maniac throughout your early 20s, probably even pushing into your late 20s. But you want to be developing the ability to step back from that a little bit, because as you have kids, you really want to be there for them. And this stuff is so exciting. If you don't set yourself up with the opportunity to step back, you'll keep diving into it because it's exciting every day. Raising kids isn't exciting every day, but there is a ton of regret if you don't engage with them more frequently. And me personally, I teetered on that edge as my kids were younger. But this is really important and exciting. Important because nothing the federal government does is really that important. Just be careful of that. Age 22, I needed money in college and some friends needed pictures for an event. I had time, a nice camera, and an interest in photography. This turned into my first official gig as an entrepreneur. I got to earn money doing something that excited me. Yes. Good luck being a photographer. Not saying you can't do it, but good luck. Story continues though. Age 22 to 24, I became borderline obsessed with economics. Me too. Political and moral philosophy. Me too. History, not so much, unless it directly correlated to economics and politics. And finance. Absolutely. Anyone with an interest to create something more of a life for themselves is very interested in finance. And if you can't just get your mind to click onto that, you're going to struggle. You'll be like this lady who we were arguing with earlier this week. She was in my internship class, but no, you need to give this client all their money back for the damages to this home, because they didn't know when they scrubbed the walls down with whatever chemical was going to cause discoloration. It's not their fault. Okay, so you're going to charge the homeowner for this or the person who caused the problem? You just need to give them their money back, and the homeowner's just going to have to eat it. You're going to go broke trying to run a business, because at the end of the day, someone has to accept the cost. You accept the cost, take it out of your profits. The homeowner accepts it as a cost, takes it out of their profits, and if you lose too much profit, you lose the house. Or the tenant eats it, and that's a cost of doing business. So just paint the wall. If you owned the home, you would have just repainted the wall. You wouldn't say, it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll sell just fine, or re-rent just fine. Nope. You would say, I need to fix this. So you're either going to pay someone the $650 to paint the room, or you're going to do it yourself for a $45 can of paint and maybe $20 in supplies. Figure it out, but if you're the owner, you know this. Point being, you have to have a little bit of a mind for finance. You have to be able to set your emotions to the side and do the thing that makes sense and is logical. Because at the end of the day, if you're illogical, you will be poor, you will be sad. You will be working a job you hate for the rest of your life to justify an existence, as Dave Ramsey says, to impress people you don't know with crap you don't need for a life you don't like. Back to the story. Age 24 to 27, interests in economics and philosophy evolved from theory to how can I practically apply these ideas in the real world and also make good money. Dude, I'm all about that. That's when I got into Robert Kiyosaki. I kind of skipped Dave Ramsey for the most part, except, you still listen to his stuff, but Robert Kiyosaki got me into that. This is how I can apply it. And it's very ethereal, not direct in this situation, but that's what clicked me onto entrepreneurship. And just kind of stuck in this hamster wheel of the military until I could retire. But 3 more years for that. 3 more years till I go free. Started asking presenters for advice at conferences. Same. Put on through my job. Absolutely. Me too. Led to several fortuitous encounters and ultimately an opportunity to apprentice a startup CEO at a company building tech to help small business owners. That's so freaking exciting. My interest in entrepreneurship, finance, and business operations grew while I gained incredible experience. Okay, same. I didn't have necessarily the entrepreneurship side or the true business, but through the opportunities in the military, did gain very similar things. But I did miss out on that opportunity. This is why I say for everyone, I'm not a huge fan of the military. If you just need the opportunity to get out of where you are, break that environment, which is critical. If you're stuck in the same environment growing up and you never break out of it, you're probably going to be stuck. But other than that, military sucks. I don't recommend it. You can find every bit of experience, with the exception of combat experience, which doesn't translate to a job ever, unless you want to be a contractor doing combat, which You might think that's cool when you're a young man. I did, for sure. Until you do it and then realize, not quite so cool. It comes with a lot of stuff you don't necessarily want to carry around for the rest of your life. Also, again, doesn't translate to a job, which translates to money, which money doesn't create happiness, but everything that makes you happy does cost money. Your family still costs money. They still need a house. They still need food. They still need a car. They still need insurance. All that stuff costs money. But to Gary Vaynerchuk's point, you can be incredibly wealthy and still be incredibly sad, incredibly hollow, incredibly unfulfilled. That's where you need Jesus, but I won't beat you over the face with that today. Just know, you need some Jesus. Okay. Age 27 to present day. Get to build an incredible business, continuing to hone my craft and interest in operations, finance, and marketing. Get to share my own personal and professional learnings with thousands of people on a weekly basis, all while continuing to explore new interests and making adjustments along the way to my life, career, day job as I learn more. This goes into, it was a quote or meme, whatever I saw on LinkedIn not too long ago. Every job you should be earning or learning. Which are you doing? If you can do both, that's incredible. But every single job you have to be learning more so that you can earn more, or earning a stupid amount of money so you can do cool things with that or learn new cool things, but always moving up some sort of ladder to something to our purpose. Not, and this is again works back to the military of be careful because they place a ladder in front of you. One ladder. There are not multiple options. There's a ladder. You must climb ladder. If you do not climb ladder, you are failure. If you ever tell anyone, I don't want to promote, you are failure because you do not climb ladder. It's a gross cycle, and you want to get out. Why would you want to do that? But there's retirement. I don't care. There's also joy and fulfillment. And there's a balance there of I can't go poor. I don't want to walk away from this retirement because it's not a ton of money, but it's enough to make sure we don't lose our house and also give me some freedom to then pursue the things that bring me true joy. However, time's the only thing you're running out of. You can always get more money, but you can't get more time. That's a constant battle. It's just that's the thing that eats your soul. I could be doing something that brings me joy and fulfillment, but I'm stuck. Anyway, enough about how I don't recommend the military. Provided me tremendous opportunity and growth though, so it's not all bad. Again, if you need that thing to get you out of that unstuck, do that. Okay, thanks for humoring my voyage down memory lane. Now let's take a break, or now let's break it all down into actionable advice for you. Okay, here's their actual advice. You want to find your thing, but you're faced with a set of constraints. You don't have a ton of money, or you need to earn an income. Yes, that's pretty much all of us. Unless you're in your early 20s and you have good parents who want to help you, not pay you, but assist you, make your life easier as you pursue a goal. This is an important differentiator here. You don't have a ton of knowledge, experience, context, and all those things, those building blocks that you need to build something. Those are constraints. But what you do have is time, and hopefully a good work ethic, natural curiosity about the world around you, and an optimistic attitude. Don't focus on the constraints. Instead, take advantage of the assets you do have. Time, energy, your health, curiosity, work ethic, then find leverage. Now, let me pause this real quick, see if I can find his book real quick. All right, I found it. Adversity Quotient by Paul G. Stoltz. This was a truly remarkable book for me. And now, I've done a ton of reading for the personal development stuff over the years, and I'll put the link to that book in there. I'm not even saying you have to read the whole thing, but read it until you get an aha moment. And this specifically hits on the part in here about the optimistic attitude. There was a phrase in this book very, very soon on, which is, when you walk into a room, do you lighten it or do you dim it? Are you a room brightener or a room dimmer? And I thought, I don't know. I don't do either. And then the next statement was something along the lines of, then you're a room dimmer if you don't know. If you say neither or, you're a room dimmer. No crap, you're right. I don't brighten up any room. And this was going to a long time problem I had of charisma. I'm just not a particularly charismatic guy. However, just putting on that smile increases your lifespan, increases your health outcomes, it increases your success, it increases everything. So just smile. Even if it's a fake smile, put on a smile. You will feel better. And as far as being a room brightener, just focus on waking up every day and saying, this is going to be a good day. I'm going to make it a good day. And for me, it helps a little bit to say, thank you, Lord, for putting me on this planet. I could be dead. I could be back in Afghanistan getting treated like dog crap by the army. That sucked a lot. They hate Air Force. They hate you, especially the pretend wannabe operators or just the back end admin weenies or intel weenies who want to be out front, but they can't, but they're still better than you because you're in the Air Force. Like, dude, I just want to do my job and like keep people from dying. And no, you're a piece of shit. It's all that. Anyway, wake up every day. It could be worse because I could be there, being threatened and, there's a lot of crap that happens. But point being, focus every day. How could this be worse? It could be worse. It sure could. So wake up every day. This is a damn good day. Damn good. Just have that positive attitude. That makes everything so much easier. When you wake up every day, oh, this sucks. You're only focusing on the negative things. Everything will suck, I promise you. That's something I'll bet you on. But work ethic, man, that's a tough one. Because if you're just not born with it or you're not raised with it, you don't have it. And you're just kind of lazy and you're always pursuing the easy things. And that can be pretty simple. I wasn't raised with good work ethic. I mean, my parents worked like dogs, but they didn't teach me work ethic. My granddads, they taught me some work ethic, but and I mean, honestly, I had the best relationship with them. However, no one forced me to get up every day and go do something. It was more of an afterthought as a kid. My parents just weren't really there. And my grandfathers weren't there all the time because I didn't live with them. So I had some exposure to it, but nothing to really push me. And the thing that helped me get into good work ethic mode was, here's the thing, you too can have it. And I was reading a lot of autobiographies as a young man in my early 20s. I'm a terrible reader, so super slow, barely literate. But doing all that reading helped me see, there's something here. I can get to that golden ring, but I have to do these things. And like Monster Cody Scott was a good one because, man, you were doing all of the wrong things, in jail multiple times, and you still accomplished something with your life. Or Malcolm X that was a life-altering book for me, in that, you were an idiot, but you found a purpose, and to get to that purpose, and I was also reading Ron Paul Revolution Manifesto, excellent book, helped me understand the political problems in our system. And I was spurred onto that because I was reading a lot of nutritional books, and everything kept getting outlawed when it was really effective. Like tryptophan was a good sleep aid, just like melatonin or 5-HTP or valerian root. Why would you do that? That's a good thing. And a lot of supplements just kept getting banned because there's one bad actor putting bad crap in. Well, okay, what happens when we have spinach and salmonella on it from someone crapping on their fingers, not washing their hands? Do we ban spinach? No. It's like, this doesn't make sense. And then I fell down the conspiracy rabbit hole of Alex Jones, and that there was some guy making a bunch of health books back in the 2009-10 range, maybe 2005 even. It was just saying how the government's out to get you, and I believed that for about 2 years until I realized, no, a lot of inept people, a lot of corrupt people. Some of them are out to get you, but more so they're just out to get themselves a lot of dollars. And all this stuff combined, though, I can focus on the problems and the negative things, and I'm doing the square root of F all to improve my life. Or I can say, God has blessed me with the ability to read. Barely, but the ability. I can figure out how to work on computers. I can figure out how to grow money. I can figure out how to work. So I can get these things and overcome the adversity like so many of these other people who have far worse opportunity than me. And I can achieve a similar level of success, but I have to work really hard. And a lot of it boils down to that. Just work really hard, have a good attitude, and you have to want to learn more. That's a really important one. You have to have, I don't know if it's an innate desire, but you have to be willing to learn more about everything that challenges you. You might hit a wall, like with AI, I hit a wall and said, I just don't have the capability for math. I can do basic arithmetic all day, but once you get it all more advanced, I don't get it. It doesn't click for me. So that's something I just know I'm not going to pursue that any further. It's not going to be a good use of my time, which goes back to the core thing. Time is your most valuable asset. So covet that. Now, let me go on to the next one here because I've been droning on enough about that stuff. Number 2, find something you want to explore more deeply, then identify an opportunity. For me, it was a hybrid of entrepreneurship and photography. I wanted to start my own business. I didn't have a ton of skill or experience to offer, but I had time. I had a camera, and my friends knew I was interested in photography. This created a window of opportunity. Now, this is really important to understand when you're younger, before you have kids. And this is why I'm a big proponent of have kids in your 30s. One, a lot more wisdom. I'm not saying I'm the smartest guy in the room, but I'm a lot smarter than I was in my 20s, and I have a lot more patience, and I've created the ability to have more time because that wisdom says you need to do this because these kids aren't getting younger. So, combine all these things together. Take advantage of small opportunities because they're going to be small failures, especially if you have a supportive system around you that, hey, go ahead, stay here, stay in the extra bedroom while you pursue this, but you're also going to expect here's a timeline, and you need to hold yourself to the timeline. Maybe you're the one that sets the timeline. Within this many months, I will achieve this goal. This many months, I will achieve this goal. And if it all falls apart or I fail by this date, I'm getting out of here because I'm going to get a job at Walmart if I have to. Because it's not fair to just keep leeching off you as I chase my dream. Please don't do that. Number 3, forget about a perfectly mapped out plan. Allow your interests to lead you. Man, these guys really need Grammarly. Then domino effect. My blended interest in entrepreneurship and photography and economics led me to a unique internship opportunity, which exposed me to more career possibilities and enhanced my career interests. Leaning into this gave way to the next opportunity, and leaning to that opportunity gave way to the next. Following your interests is like a domino effect. Spot on. And this is why I said in a previous video maybe it was this week, to go volunteer. Volunteer around other businesses. Find something that you have some joy in and has some relation to someone doing business, which is just about everywhere. But then look for those opportunities within that organization, within that group, within that opportunity, whatever it is. Exactly what this person's saying. Do something you enjoy, volunteer, give yourself, and it just opens up more windows to opportunity and allows you to dive into that and chase it. And at that point of just follow the next thing, dude, that's what it's all about there. Because you'll find this opportunity is okay, but it doesn't make enough dollars to be worth my time. And so if I'm going to do this, it doesn't bring me enough joy I'd rather just be tossed around boxes at Walmart for this kind of money. That sort of thing. Find something that brings you a little bit more joy. Number 4, compound interests over time are like clues. Over time, some interests will wane and others will blossom. Every so often, examine your current interests and consider the interests you've abandoned. Which of your interests have expanded over time? Which interests have you returned to over and over again? Which interests have you grown bored with? Pay attention to stuff you continually return to. That's the sweet spot. So for me, that's programming. I keep returning to it. It's a challenge. I'm not very good at it, and I don't really have historically, I haven't had a reason to dive into it. Now I've got some ideas that I really want to flesh out, and so I'm doing that, but that's a long haul, so I do that a little bit on the side, so a couple hours a week on that, and I focus on, okay, I do have another entrepreneurial idea that will make dollars short term, I know for a fact. Great, I'm going to put a little more time into that, but I still have to spend a majority of my time on the thing that pays the bills. Now, that is not a perfect answer, but figure out which blend of that works for you. Like farming, something I still have a ton of interest in, but I've also come to the understanding that me doing it for money is not going to generate enough to be worth my time. And so I still have a tremendous interest in it, but it's something I'm not necessarily going back to other than just as a hobby, because I need to make dollars, need to pay rent, need to buy food, well, not rent, mortgage, whatever. Point being, I need to make money. And so that's that thing. I really enjoy it, but I'm compounding that onto the programming. That's where I'm coming in. I see the opportunity space because of my time spent farming and dealing with other folks in agriculture. And this programming thing could help a lot of folks really streamline operations and help farmers move more product, because you're good at marketing or you're good at farming. You're generally not good at both. If you are, you're essentially Joel Salatin or Greg Judy. And Joel Salatin really got his start off in marketing by writing, because he was always a good writer. And so he combined his love of writing, his skill of writing, into making books about his other passion, which is farming. Those are the two things he talks about a lot, and those books got him enough notoriety that now he's made enough money that now he can pay people to make videos for him, make courses, make swag, make all kinds of stuff. And man, that guy's doing really well. But it's all that marketing piece combined with his love of agriculture is really what got him going. And now he's not doing social media, but he's got a big social media presence. It's because now he's able to pay people, but it's because he built those compounding interests and a domino affected into something really awesome and huge. Greg Judy's similar, a little different, but we don't need to dive down the agriculture rabbit hole that much. Point being, one thing does lead to another. Just, let God make that path for you and do your best to follow it. It never makes sense until hindsight. Number 5, put yourself in opportunity's path. Whatever you're interested in, find a way to expose yourself to that more. Even if you can't go full time, read books on the side, start a podcast, volunteer hours to help someone with a project. Man, this guy and I thinking the exact same things. By any means necessary, embrace your interest and take your pursuit of it seriously. It's the foundation for turning your interest into something more than a hobby. Okay, I know this is a bit long-winded today, like me. This one has been brewing for a few weeks, so I'll wrap up this issue. But if you are a young adult or young professional who's been asking that same question lately, how do I find my thing? Hit reply. Let me know a bit more about your situation. Would be happy to offer some pointers if I can. As always, thanks for reading the playbook, Mitchell. So, I want to remind you folks, check out Praxis, especially if you're younger, and they're supposed to be rolling out a homeschool curriculum soon? I don't know when it's going to happen, but I really hope they do, because I know at least one of my kids, if not two of them, will be going directly into that. My older one, for sure, 12 years old, she's just on the precipice here, and she has all the makings. She just needs the direction and the clear objectives. Hey, do this, do this, do this. She needs that playbook of this is what I do next, and she will just knock it out the park. Even if she doesn't love it, because I do love that part. I want to do that part. I need to do this step to get there. I'm going to do it. I will do it. My 10-year-old, we love her very much. She's maturing though, and she's building into it. But with that, to recap here quickly, guys, Start 9. Check them out. I'll post a link in the show notes. That is going to be your first step into technology and getting your own data sovereignty. Next, the adversity quotient. I want you to check that book out. If you're not the most excited person in the room, if you're not a room brightener, if you are a indifferent or dimmer, you need to check that book out. It really helped me a lot. I mean, there are a ton of good books I could list off here, but that one specifically was just spectacular. And I want you to check out Praxis. If you're a little older, that's okay. Maybe you can use it as a resource to give other folks. But please check that out. With that, folks, that's all I got for today. I don't want to go any longer because I've over 30 minutes. With that, folks, have a great day. Reach out, disgruntled dad, thedisgruntleddad.com.